Welcome back into the Rowdy Studio, where I am Buzz Cutler and he is Bass Masters, and we're still talking about Kurt Busch, where he may end up and who may end up back in the 22. Let's start with Kurt Busch and where he may go from here. I think some of the most intriguing ideas are maybe rounding out Danica Patrick's season at Stewart-Haas, or maybe would Richard Childress welcome him into that fourth car vacated by Clint Bowyer.
Well, one of the interesting aspects of this, obviously, is that the sponsor, Shell Pennzoil, sticks with Roger Penske and that 22 car. So the question becomes a top-tier driver, championship caliber driver with some behavioral issues.
And a champion's provisional.
And a champion's provisional, and perhaps some added perspective based on what's happened, but also a guy who said, I'm not having fun right now. I need to take a step somewhere else. And I'm working with a sports psychologist. You know, the next season is not that far away. It's not like you got 3 months or 4 months to figure it out here, right? You got to figure it out pretty quick if you want to race next year. So I think that makes me wonder if we'll see Kurt Busch in a full-time ride next year. It's an opportunity for a race team to have a very good driver behind the wheel if that's what Kurt wants to do.
And that's why I really like the idea of him splitting time with Danica. It gives him time in a less pressure-filled situation to
just go out and win races. You don't have to worry about the points.
Maybe school Danica a little bit, mentor her a little bit. You know, Tony Stewart, he knows something from hotheads. He may be able to help Kurt sort of navigate whatever it is he needs to navigate. Of course, as you mentioned, what Tony Stewart really needs now is not a driver. There are plenty of them. He needs a sponsor.
It's going to take a certain kind of sponsor, I think, to be the one that hops on Kurt's car, but it's an opportunity for a sponsor to run up front.
Same at Richard Childress Racing. RC doesn't have a sponsor for that fourth car. If he does, is it Kurt Busch he wants to put behind the wheel?
It all starts with the sponsor, and if you're a sponsor, and this is sort of a target of opportunity, I think, for someone who wants to get into NASCAR or get a top-tier driver and run their car up front. I think it's a target of opportunity right here, and I don't know if anyone will take it or not.
Now, obviously, the other places that Kurt Busch could end up are some of the smaller teams, the Front Row Motorsports, the Furniture Rows.
Yeah, but if he was frustrated running at Penske.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
I mean, maybe that takes the pressure totally off, but it would seem to me that would be a pretty frustrating situation.
You would think one of those teams would really would welcome not only a Kurt Busch, but his past champions provisional.
Yep.
Whether or not he would want to go to one of those teams.
Right.
I mean, if that's what he's facing, he may just go try to make himself into a drag racer.
Yeah, that's a whole different discipline.
It is.
That's a whole different discipline.
But he's been toying with it, and he says he's been enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. I'm sure you'd enjoy it, too.
I would, and I've been toying with it as well. Now, the other side of the equation, of course, is who fills the 22. Sort of the rumors that we're hearing sort of more than anything else right now is David Reagan taking that ride. Do you like that move?
I like that move. I mean, David Reagan is a guy you don't totally know what his upside is yet, maybe. Maybe a guy that reminds you a little bit of Brad Keselowski, except maybe with a longer, gestation period. Has shown some flashes here and there. Has won a race, has won the July race at Daytona. So I like that move. You got to wonder maybe about a guy, I think you tweeted it, Cutler, about Justin Allgaier.
Right.
Guy who was in the Penske stable who achieved quite a bit in the Nationwide Series, but was without a ride, went over to Turner Motorsports last year for the season.
Still maintained his, did he win a race?
I think did he win a race?
This past season? He won a race for Penske when he was in that Nationwide car at Bristol. So Justin Allgaier, of course, the other Nationwide guy, Sam Hornish Jr., won his first race just a few weeks ago at Phoenix.
Yep.
And we know that he's a favorite son of Roger Penske.
You got Brian Vickers floating out there as well.
David Rudiman.
David Rudiman is the other name. That David Rudiman, to me, is intriguing, is perhaps as intriguing as a David Reagan in an interesting way. May have even more upside just based on the team that Reagan was with. Reagan was with a top-tier team, and David Rudiman was not. David Rudiman has won a couple races on unrestricted tracks. I would not hesitate to take a good hard look at David Rudiman.
The other, I think, big question about that revolves around this whole subject is, now that Kurt Busch is gone, does it make it easier to replace Steve Addington? Whereas a guy like Darian Grubb, as crew chief, may have thought twice about coming over to work with Kurt Busch. Will he be more open to climbing atop that war wagon now that there may be a Reagan or a Rudiman or a Vickers or the Hornish behind the wheel of the car?
Well, it just depends. Obviously, if you hop onto Kurt Busch's car, if you're going to be the crew chief for that car, you know you have a chance to win races. You know that the talent is there. Depending on who they put in the car, there may be more question marks on that side. So you may have more of a solid citizen, but you may have more of a question mark as far as the talent goes. So It just depends on what's more important to you if you're a crew chief.
All right, well, we expect all this to be wrapped up fairly quickly given the short off season.
Which means we'll be back with another video.
You might even know the answer while watching this video. And so you could just sort of see how the sausage is made and be privy to our speculation, though you already know that we're wrong.
Or we could be right.
Or we could be right. Thanks for watching.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.